We are Movie Menu Reviews. Oh! We are Movie Menu Reviews. Oh! We are Movie Menu Reviews. Ah! We are Movie Menu Reviews. Movie menu, movie menu. Movie menu, movie menu. The movie menu. Movie menu, movie menu. The movie menu. Movie menu, movie menu. Movie menu, movie menu. The movie menu. Movie menu, movie menu. Movie menu. Yeah, welcome, ladies and gents. I am Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Menu Reviews, your weekly movie news and reviews podcast, here on episode 163.
Yeah.
163, guys. So, thank you so much. I'm joined by special guest Rigo Espinoza. Thank you, Rigo, for being here.
Thanks for having me back today.
Yeah, welcome back to our season 12. We've been on recording 12 seasons so far.
Yeah.
Where we review movies, talk movie news. So let's go ahead and continue that fashion with our senior panelist and co-host Z.
Hey.
Also here is my co-host Mike Stan.
Hey.
Thank you so much, Mike, for being here.
Oh, thank
Though
you.
you have to be here because this is his studio that we record at. So we have quite a bit of movie news to go ahead and discuss. So let's go ahead and get started with that. First up is the trailer for... We're going to go over some trailer reviews. First up is Star Wars The Last Jedi, the official trailer. What did you guys think about that?
I thought
Was it lazy, Rigo? Was it lazy?
Man,
of course you had to be on the episode that we talk about the Star Wars film.
I'm
of all the
sorry,
guests that we could have had, we had to get Rigo back on the episode.
Okay, I'm just saying, a helicopter panning out to seeing someone yield a lightsaber is not very cinematographic, whatever, to me. It's like, it's been done before, Dan. Come on.
Not with the lightsaber.
It was lazy.
Not with the lightsaber.
But I gotta say, like, this trailer was really good, yet really deceiving. If you don't pay attention, you're gonna think things you're not supposed to.
Interesting. Like, what kind of things, Rigo?
Well, we don't know.
No. You can extrapolate quite a story out of this.
Sure.
I mean, like, clearly, you know, first of all, how dare the people who are making the trailers make us fear, you know, that one of our favorite actresses is gonna die even though she's passed away. Like, that whole setup of Leia nearly getting killed is in the trailer itself. That would have been an enjoyment to watch in theaters. And that kind of gives us a kind of plot spoiler there. Like, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
Now, I don't believe for a minute that Rey is going to give in to the dark side. I think
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
That was just clearly a massive trailer ploy.
Dan, it was. I think it's obviously playing with our emotions and playing with our thoughts. It's Rian Johnson. The trailer itself, I thought it was great, but I'm trying not to read too much into it because even Rian Johnson himself said, do not watch this trailer if you want to go in with fresh eyes. So I just take it as, okay, I watched it. Now I'm just going to wait for the movie to go ahead and dissect it because I don't feel like dissecting this trailer, which wasn't made by Rian Johnson himself.
Yeah.
So I'm just enjoying what I saw and just moving forward until I watch the film.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys think of those little animal creatures everyone's dying
Porgs?
about?
Those are great.
The porgs?
I am a fan of the Ewoks. I mean, I'm not fan of Jar Jar, but they tend to include like
so what you're trying to say, this is Jar Jar Light?
This I want to feel like this is Ewok Light.
Ewok Light. All right, fair enough.
I'm hoping for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so Mike, what did you think of the trailer?
No, I agreed with you guys. I think I'm just gonna I'm curious. I'm curious if they're gonna take this to a darker route.
It's Rian Johnson. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because his movies are not the lightest films out there.
And it's you know, assumed to be it's the second of the new trilogy, so it's
supposed to be like Empire.
Yeah, exactly.
Empire Strikes Back.
This is Empire Strikes Back, so it's going to be darker. And it's going to look very, very grim.
And there's going to be a train passing by in the movie. So let's go ahead and move on to the next trailer, which is the New Mutants. Now, this is a darker feature
It's
film.
interesting.
It is directed by John Boone.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about this trailer?
I
for
mean,
the New Mutants.
You know, Fox may be onto something in that they're realizing that what Captain America did with the comic book genre to blend two different genres to make a better movie, because clearly this is horror.
Yeah, I was gonna
inspired.
say, is this the first Marvel horror film?
Yeah,
I don't know. Would you consider Spawn a horror movie?
Yeah, but then that was a
that's-
Marvel.
that's
though.
not
that wasn't
Marvel.
Marvel exactly. Yeah, that was Image, I think. Yeah, I think that might have been Image who did. Yeah, it was definitely Image. So it's. And even at that, like, right, the Spawn movie was light rated R. It wasn't like heavy rated R. And it wasn't really that horror based since you had John Leguizamo, you know, in a fat suit.
Yeah. You also got Blade, which
You
is
do
also
have Blade,
comic book horror, but that
But that was more action horror than anything else. This looks amazing though. Like they didn't show anybody really using mutant powers. Unless you're a nerd and you can find out where you see Sunspot and you know the way that the reality
Pain and
the reality warping that's happening. I just found it really curious that they would release something like this. You know, after Deadpool, after the success of Deadpool, this is a great move from Fox. I have never said that. It looks good. What do you guys think?
I thought it looked great too. I was actually when they released it, I was like, oh, I'm interested to see like what this is about. I mean, I know about the New Mutants, but I was really intrigued by the storyline of how they are really going for it, and it's much darker than anything we've seen before, which is great.
Yeah,
it's like a horror film.
Yeah, I'm curious to see which route they're. I'm curious to see if they're gonna follow through with how they've presented it in the trailer, or if it's just another disappointing, misleading trailer. So we'll see.
I don't think it is. I don't think
Yeah?
it's misleading.
You
I think
think
they
it's-
basically this is what it's going to be about. Because if you think about it, New Mutants is not a very familiar. Is it a franchise as far as
It's a comic book.
Oh, it's a
series.
comic book
Is it?
series started in the 80s by Chris Claremont. So it's got a really good following.
Yeah, it does.
However, they are doing something entirely different with it, which is the right way of doing it, because, you know, you don't have a lot of rights that, you know, Marvel clearly still owns. So if Fox is going to do something with it, it has to do something different.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I totally agree. I know nothing about this, and just watching the trailer, I was very interested.
Now,
So
let's go ahead and move on to the next comic book trailer, because that's all we do here apparently. Is the Black Panther, or Black Panther, I should say, Marvel's Black Panther. What did you guys think about that trailer that just was released?
I think it was fun.
Does anybody find the music a little kind of not connecting with the movie itself?
you know what?
I'm okay with it.
I think for that we would have to wait and see, because I can sense a general theme where they're going with this. They want this to be a Marvel movie, but they kind of want it to be their own movie, like,
Right. In the same way that we were just talking about New Mutants, it's trying to separate itself in a big way of genre. Right. This is going more. I mean, it's going more sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
And I from watching the you know, all the moving images on the thing, the audio doesn't actually connect with what's going on in the story. So I just, like, I'm not saying that the hip hop's not good. I like the hip hop music, but what I'm saying is that it just doesn't feel like that's the soundtrack we're going to get in the movie.
Gotcha.
And it feels really disconnected. So with that being set apart, the movie looks badass. I'm really looking forward to it. What do you agree with that, Rigo?
Yeah, I totally agree, but I think that the music is going to be a very integral part of that movie. What it will be, who knows? Maybe it'll be what it normally is, with a big cinematic score,
Right.
or maybe they'll just stick to the hip hop and, I guess, try to relate to what the culture is when it comes to that superhero.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I was been looking forward to Black Panther for a very long time. I think it's a great character, and the comics are great. And I don't know, I don't feel like it's that much disconnected with
Do you think the music plays well with it?
It didn't bother me. I feel like it did enhance it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the music with it. And you're right. This is such a way of a sci-fi film, which I'm looking forward to. I think that's a cool way of blending different genres into one film.
Yeah.
And with Ryan Coogler behind the helm, like, he's such a great director, and I'm just even more pumped for that.
Yeah, and without a doubt, I think that this movie has, like, the best like Hollywood
Cast?
act. Oh my god, I keep. It's like it's fun because you watch it and you're like, yeah, I know that person, I know that person, I know that, and they all like look like they're acting at their full caliber. Lupita Nyong'o like immediately jumped out at me, and I was like, yes, you know, and she's like they're giving her like an actual script to work off of, which is really cool, and it just feels like. For me, the music is not going to really reveal exactly what's going on here, and I just want to watch this movie right now.
For that though, I would refer back to Creed. The music in Creed was a very integral part of the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Who knows? This guy does know what he's doing.
Definitely.
I have 100% faith that he'll get this right, and from what I hear, he has been.
I actually agree with you, Rigo.
What a surprise!
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna actually switch it up to something a little more serious.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to Z's story, news story of the week.
Yeah.
Which is a very serious topic. So,
Yeah.
go ahead, Z.
Well, and I didn't want to talk about this last week, and this was off camera, so I didn't actually talk to you guys about it. But this has to do with the Harvey Weinstein controversy that's going on right now. I didn't want to cover it last week because I felt like the news was just breaking. And more importantly, with something this horrendous, you know that the week is going to bring a lot more revelations. And sure enough, we've been seeing it. So Harvey Weinstein, if you don't know, has been a star maker in Hollywood since he started his career at Miramax in the 1970s. Before that, before he established the Weinstein Company. And as many of us learned for the first time this last week, he's used his position of power to repeatedly harass and sexually assault actresses who worked on his films. Nearly 30 women have come forward with allegations that the Hollywood mogul, has been doing stuff. In the New York Times, it was published in there. It was a really great article. I think, Mike, you read it. And among the many actresses that have been caught in this, Angelina Jolie, Ashley Judd, Kate Beckinsale, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Rose McGowan. Yeah, it's insane the amount of women that are attached to this. The list of the accusers is growing daily. Like daily. This man has been in Hollywood for more than 30 years, and so it's frightening when you realize that he's been in influential power in Hollywood where he had access to these young women. But here's the thing, right? This isn't new. This isn't something nobody knew about. Weinstein's history is a much larger tradition of sexual harassment in Hollywood that's gone on for so long. When he did it, it's no one batted an eye. Nobody realized, and I feel like because this is coming out, it needs to be talked about. Like, how fucking scary is that? That nobody actually batted an eye. Nobody actually spoke up. And the women who did speak up were ostracized entirely. We've heard a lot of stories like Weinstein's recently, and even more stories like his survivors tell. When these things come up in the in news, many people wonder why women are choosing to come forward now. Why not when the assaults were first happening? And I've heard that from many people who are like, why now? Why? What is it about now that's making it different?
Well, I don't think it's about now, because if you read the article and several other articles I've read about these women, some of these women did come forward at the time when it did happen. Mainly one in particular, I don't remember her name, but she was in a hotel with Harvey Weinstein in
This
New
is
York.
the audio recording. There's an audio recording of him assaulting her.
Yes, and she directly went to the police right away. She did not wait.
Yeah.
She didn't hesitate. But upon further investigation, there was no charges made, even though there was an audio recording.
Yeah, and by and large, these women were terrified by his behavior. They didn't want to lose their careers. And they wanted to avoid being ostracized in the press in the same way that we've seen Rose McGowan being ostracized in the press right now. In short, he abused his position of power to take what he wanted from them and then use the same power to keep them quiet. He uses power of influence to influence male actors and female actors to keep quiet. In an industry where men dominate the power struggle, the power structure, is it possible for things to even change? Like, what will happen? What will it take to make behavior like Weinstein's intolerable? Right? Like, just think about that. At this point, I hope none of our listeners are asking themselves why they should care. But in case you are, you should care because this affects you. If you know any women at all, you've probably noticed the hashtag #MeToo popping up on Facebook and Twitter. All right. The hashtag was started by Alyssa Milano, and it encourages all women who have been sexually harassed and assaulted to reply "Me Too" to raise awareness for the magnitude of the problem. Women responded, and speaking for myself, my feeds were flooded with hashtag #MeToos. It's disappointing and deeply unsettling, but we have to shine a light on this problem. Like, don't let it lose traction. These bastards should pay. We should make them pay for all the shit they've done. And men, listen, guys around me, it's our responsibility to stand up, to tell women we believe them, and say we won't do the same. This isn't the story I'm covering as much as a message to all those women who have suffered at the hands of scum like Weinstein. We believe you, and let's take this fight to them. So I guess that to open it up to you guys, how do you guys feel this is going to affect Hollywood?
Well, it's terrible. And again, we do hear you and see you. And I believe the ladies who have come forward. But this guy, like you said, was powerhouse. He was a titan. He was untouchable. And boy, has he fallen.
Yep.
And this is a message to anyone else. You might have as much power as you think you might, but you will fall. Yeah,
and we're seeing more now, more women coming forward, more men coming forward. I saw Terry Crews post about, how he was also sexually assaulted in front of his wife by a producer. He didn't want to name him because of the same reason. He was even Terry motherfucking Crews is afraid of his career. And that's the thing that a lot of us forget, is that these are actors. Yes, that's a big title, but they're unemployed. They're constantly unemployed. They need work. And if the way that the power structure is made in Hollywood is that you have to give to receive, then it makes it easier for sexual predators like this
to take advantage
of anybody. And I've been reading so much. Courtney Love, who we don't really expect to fall into the limelight of this, was completely ostracized from Hollywood when she was interviewed, and she said when they asked her what things can you tell young actresses, her response was, if Harvey Weinstein invites you to his room, don't go. That's scary, right? That is really frightening.
How long ago was this interview?
This was in 1990.
Yeah, but I see there's a change going forward. Though we'll see how much that is, because that's an entertainment thing and how real life goes. Mm-hmm. But with people within those power, quote unquote, they're going to think twice now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's no longer the careers that are going to be of the actors. It's going to be those motherfuckers who have been assaulting people for years that are going to crush and crumble.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question to you guys, though. As far as everybody's known that Harvey has been doing this, should you think like other people that are in the Weinstein company should be held accountable, like his brother? Because I'm pretty sure his brother knew, or other executives. Should they go?
Well, they were all
with him?
paying for all the lawsuits to go away, so they absolutely knew. There's no doubt.
Okay, so if he's out, what's next? What do you think is next?
I think what's next, and just this is my opinion, but I think a league or a group of people need to form independently away from Hollywood that makes sure that actresses and actors have the ability to speak out against their aggressors. And this needs to be supported by the Directors Guild, the Acting Guild, or the Screen Actors Guild, the Academy, who still has a bunch of people, some of whom are pedophiles, as people who can actually nominate films. They're people in power, and they haven't been held accountable. And the fact that there's so much fear in this is what makes it difficult for a victim, a survivor, to stand up for themselves. So what needs to happen? The Weinstein company needs to put money where their mouth is.
Should there even be a Weinstein company anymore?
It's at this
point it's falling apart.
It's falling apart. You know, they fired Harvey. The Academy has kicked him out as well. And I feel like the Harvey Weinstein Company is also, you know, they're doomed. They have tolerated so much bad behavior from their actors as well. You know, and you know, all you need to do is Google, and you'll find a bunch of actors' names that you wouldn't believe are on those lists. And so much of them have been influenced by Weinstein's behavior. So, anyways,
well, thank you, Z. For
Yeah.
we believe you. Listen, I believe
see you. We believe you, and we are here.
Yeah, and I feel like this was a really important topic to cover. And you know, I thank all the actresses and all the actors who have spoken out about this, because this, and all the women who I know on Facebook who have been posting, because this needs to come out. There shouldn't be a fear. There should be an acceptance.
Right.
You know. Anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you, Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to transition into the movie review for Happy Death Day.
Movie menu.
So the film we're reviewing is Happy Death Day, directed by Christopher Landon. Here's the plot. A college student relives the day of her murder with both its unexceptional details and terrifying end until she discovers her killer's identity. It stars Jessica Roth and Israel Broussard. All right, guys, I have not seen this film, so depending on your spoiler-free review, I would just say this movie's worth a dine-in, watch it in theaters, take out, wait and watch it at home, or leftovers. Kill this movie as many times as it comes back, so that you avoid watching it. So whoever wins will earn a point, and whoever has the most points by the end of the season, Z is the winner of last season, and so he's gonna come with his segment for this season
Eventually,
sometime.
yeah.
But whoever wins this season will go ahead and get their own segment of their choosing for next season. So guys, go ahead and rate this film.
Rigo.
Oh, well, let's see. I'm going to go with dine-in.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, Mike.
I'm gonna go with takeout.
Z.
Damn it! All right, I'm gonna go with the takeout. I agree with Mike on this one.
Sorry.
And so here's the thing about this film. All right, not a high concept film. It's Groundhog Day with a little death in it.
Which is funny because that concept was taken with Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow, yeah.
Which was a sci-fi twist.
Yes.
This is a horror movie twist.
And
or a
actually,
slasher twist.
Thank you for bringing that up, because the thing about Edge of Tomorrow that took the edge off of that movie was all the humor in that film. And in fact, I would argue that this film probably falls under, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's definitely horror comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. It should.
It should be horror comedy.
Yeah,
and
although it's categorized as just horror, it really is horror comedy.
Yeah, and so with that being said, right, going into a genre film that has two different genres being blended together, this film does not stand up. It does not do what, other great horror comedies have done, and that's why I really didn't enjoy it as much. Now, I'm not going to say this is not a good movie. I really enjoyed scenes of this, but I think it should have been funnier. That was my biggest critique about this film.
I think the film was fun, but I agree with Z there. It's as both a horror and a comedy. I don't think it fully commits to either, or fully executes either genre to its fullest.
Yeah.
And but even saying that, it's still a fun film to see.
Yeah.
Now, is so here in October, it's Halloween season. Though you guys say takeout, you don't recommend people going out to see it in this season right now?
That's exactly.
I do.
Oh, you do. You go. Go ahead,
do.
Rigo. You haven't spoken.
I do. For me, it was fun. It was original. I enjoyed it. The plot, it's very, like you said, it's very simplistic. She dies over and over.
Did you guys figure it out before?
I did.
Or was it a shock to find out who it was? Don't tell me who, obviously.
Yeah,
No,
we're not going to spoil it, but yeah.
There's a point where you get a clue, and then you start seeing that person over and over a couple of times, and you're like, that's the person. It has to be. But there's like a little hint. Like there's a hint in a scene.
There's
where,
no misdirections or anything?
No. It's a scene where she.
Well, don't
one of
say
the
the
times.
scenes. Don't say
I'm
the
just
scenes.
saying that she's driving. That's all I'm
don't
gonna
say-
say.
don't say anything.
Dan's like, don't tell me anything, but tell me everything. Just go
This
ahead.
should be spoiler free.
It is
Spoiler-free.
spoiler free.
It's spoiler-free.
no,
There's no spoilers.
Well, okay. Well, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the plot. Yeah, it was a little. I wish she would have done more with her day, as far as like show her doing different things, because eventually she just owns it and starts like.
Well, the whole sequence of I guess with the repeat parts, when that campus was filmed on, they only had 2 days to do it.
Oh, really?
Only 2
Wow.
days, and like one of the times that they tried it, the speaker system, because I know in the trailer the speaker system, it broke and would not turn off for like a couple hours.
No.
So they really lost some time, but they only had 2 hours to film. 2 days to film the whole sequence of the college.
Yeah. Well, to address your question too, is this a film to watch during Halloween? No. Go watch it. That's way better, guys.
But I think everybody's already seen it. It has already passed. It's already made.
Now this is the guy that directed Paranormal Activities Mark 1 and Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel like his style films are in the same vein, or is it improving?
So here's the thing, okay? Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse had at least a better formula to work with. This one, for me, fell apart very much at the end. 2/3 a good movie. It just didn't know how to finish, and you could really feel it. You will really feel that jarring moment of like, he just didn't know how to finish this.
Did you connect with Tree? Like the
Hell no. But that's the point. But that's, I think, the point.
Well,
right?
no, yeah, I think don't you want to connect because she's dying over and over again?
I think the script needed a longer incubation process for sure.
You were not supposed to connect with her though.
No, I agree with you.
Tree, as far as a character, is a really evil person.
Yes.
She's mean.
Yes.
And she's kind of fucked up in the head.
Yes.
So right away I was like, yeah, she's dying. Someone's trying to kill her. I don't want to connect with her. I just want to see what's going on and why somebody wants to kill her.
Okay, so
even by the end of the movie, you still didn't connect with her?
No.
I think if
no, you don't, really don't. Hold on, go ahead, Mike.
I
say
did
it-
because
you didn't, but what about Mike? Go on, Mike.
No, I was gonna say it follows. I think it follows the Groundhog's Day formula a little too closely.
Yep.
And it even references it.
It does
So,
really badly.
So I think if they would have been pooled influences from other films other than Groundhog's Day. It's primarily Groundhog's Day with a tiny bit of Mean Girls.
Yeah,
I would say.
Oh, that's a good reference.
But I think they should have pulled from other places and had more fun with the direction.
But they did, because they had kind of had the 80s cliche when she finally figures out who it is. She goes into like Rambo mode where she puts on the cool jacket.
Yeah,
and
but
puts on the
Rigo.
weapon.
Yeah.
Stop giving things away, please.
But
Stop
I'm not
giving
giving
things
any
away.
away.
It's fun.
But see,
It's a
here's
fun
the
thing.
thing.
And
though.
it isn't.
It isn't
like
a spoiler.
plot
No,
change.
But that'd be a fun thing to watch, like typical.
still fun.
Yeah, but okay. So here's the thing: you start the story off with a very mean girl, as Mike was saying. You're not supposed to connect. You're supposed to want her dead. That is really what you're watching. You're watching somebody die over and over, and you really want them to die. In the same way that Edge of Tomorrow, you really hated the Tom Cruise character, and you laughed out loud because he was getting killed repeatedly. You wanted the same thing for Tree. The problem is there was a moment in which you needed to care about her, and I did not connect at all. Like, there was no real moment of gestation in which I really cared about Tree or her relationships.
Or her name being Tree.
Well, who names their kid Tree?
No, it's Teresa. It's Teresa. They mentioned in the movie. But you really, and what the thing Rigo was talking about, there were moments in which, it goes a little, I forget which movies, but like Badass Girl, like it just goes really Badass Girl.
Like the Final Girl type of thing?
Yeah, a little bit like that. I was thinking more of You're Next, that kind of deal. No, not that badass. But like it, but it's not earned. That's my point. Is that it's not earned. I don't believe that she can do any of that stuff, and I'm just kind of like, no, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, you might be a decent actress, but I'm not buying that.
But that's the thing, though. Like you have to understand that in her mindset, she knows that no matter what happens, even if she dies, she's gonna come back again and try again. So if I knew I was gonna die and I had to face someone, I would just go 100. What do I have to lose?
But the thing that the Edge of Tomorrow did really good was that every iteration he came back, he learned something new, and he was more badass because of it. In this one, they do a weird thing where they limit themselves on the times that she can come back, and so that's what I feel like somewhat ruined the story for me, because there was not enough at risk for her to come back. Like, it just felt like, well, you're not learning anything, and you're not getting more badass, so there should be no reason why you should be able to do that. That's what I mean.
But it seems like it's like you're putting too much logic in this type of like
Yeah, exactly.
this type of world.
Well,
Just go watch the movie.
And that's okay, but that's a problem with the movie that has an issue with pacing. So this also has an issue with pacing because you have moments in which you're thinking logic. And I didn't want to think logic, but guess what? I didn't believe the acting and I didn't believe the story. And so I started thinking, wait a minute, the internal logic is not making any sense. And I remember watching Edge It Tomorrow before it was edited. I went with Mike and going like, the internal logic makes no sense. And the reason why I had said that about the original version of Edge It Tomorrow was because it needs to move fast enough where you're not double guessing. And this movie doesn't do that right. So that's why I'm saying that's an issue that just popped right up.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. And I think there are some moments. I felt like the love interest was a little forced.
Yeah, really forced.
And I felt like it doesn't do the film justice completely.
He was just there to show how she's changing and how she's really not a bad person. She's just around bad people.
Yeah. But it's still, I think it's a part of what affects this story negatively. But even then, like if you want to go just to see like a slasher film, then just give more of the slash. You know, I feel like there should have been more of
deaths.
There's more deaths in Edge of Tomorrow, and they use them more comedically in Edge of Tomorrow.
They did.
So
the deaths here are more significant though.
Are they?
Yes.
What part of any of those deaths?
I'm not going to give away. But okay,
I'm sorry, but all right, we've seen you've seen the trailer, right? So can you tell me about any of those deaths that felt significant?
Not her death, someone else's death.
Oh,
because that kind of changed her whole complexion of now she's not a bitch anymore. She's trying to understand and
you get some growth there.
So
compassionate.
By her dying,
people.
she becomes less of a bitch.
It's Groundhog's Day.
Yeah,
it's the exact Groundhog's Day formula. She's the young female Bill Murray.
Except here's the thing: the fun part about that movie was watching Bill Murray just fucking snap and drive off a cliff with the groundhog.
Yeah.
And it didn't have any of that, and it could have benefited from that. It could have benefited.
I think it does negatively affect when the films it pulls from went further than the film.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's and I've read this like they reference like Scream.
Sure.
It's like Groundhog Day.
It's definitely with Scream.
Scream pushed it further as well.
It did.
So if you're you're constantly referring it to films that took like the genre way further. So this is like a light version of both Groundhog's Day and they've mentioned Scream or also Mean Girls.
Also, no. But also, is this film a PG-13? Because it felt real. Yeah, look, and that hurts it too.
Yeah,
because
you're right.
Yeah, because you don't hear no fucks, and that's kind of weird. Listen, you're getting killed repeatedly. It helps to go, oh fuck.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, and it makes it more funnier too. Like it just you really enjoy somebody kind of going like, and then also, a little bit of blood doesn't hurt the film.
Oh, it's PG-13.
Yeah, I know.
But,
no blood.
Okay, I think I've heard enough.
Dan, don't listen to these. They're soulless.
Go ahead.
They have no soul, and they've probably never been in love.
What?
That's all I'm gonna say.
How is this movie even remotely related
I
to a
give
love
the point
story?
to Rigo.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, don't do that.
just
No,
kidding.
don't do that. Don't do
No,
that.
I'll go with takeout. Wait to watch it at home.
Yeah.
No, I'll probably still watch it in theaters.
No,
it's Halloween season.
I mean, listen, you should just go watch it again. Get traumatized once more. That movie was a lot more fun.
I've seen it.
Or watch Cabin in the Woods. Watch Your Next. Watch Groundhog's Day. Those are all fun movies. And I'm trying to think of any other horror comedies. I mean, Evil Dead. There's a lot of good stuff out
Shaun
there.
of the Dead.
What's that?
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh my God, Shaun of the Dead. Absolutely.
Horror comedy.
Yeah. Tucker
Okay,
and
okay,
Dale
okay.
versus the.
Attack the Block.
Attack
That's
the
a
Block.
horror
There's
comedy.
there's
Okay.
so many good ones. You don't need to go to the theater for this.
All right.
Yes,
so for this
you
Halloween
do.
season, we say takeout for Happy Death Day. Unless you want to see a movie in theaters for Halloween season. Then go watch it in
I'm
theaters.
just calling it here. I guarantee you it's going to be number one this week too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank Rigo for being on the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Thank you, Rigo.
No, we appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Z. Also, thank you for your news story.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mike, for co-hosting.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Rigo, is there anything you'd like to promote?
As always, no.
And I would like to also give thanks to Lindsay Taylor for helping me with the news story.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay. So without further ado, we will see you next week for our new episode of Movie Mini Reviews. Thank you, guys.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You guys have no soul.
2, 3, 4.
She loves him, damn it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't
Okay,
know.
we're still live.
It's misleading. I think it was misleading.
It was not misleading.
Yeah.
They love each other.
I think they should have brought in Tina.